Ahlan wa sahlan, my dear friends. Welcome back to my quarantine kitchen. And Sahtein, I've got a really quick and easy one for you. I'm actually sipping it right now. Everyone right now is really trying to boost their immune system and get their bodies in top shape and just feel really good and prepared and secure in the face of a lot of fear, right? There are so many things that we can do to really strengthen our immune system and our overall bodily health and ability to move through space in a smooth way without a lot of blockages. One of the things that's really quick and easy and very healing is a vegetable broth or a bone broth, but today we're going to be making a veggie broth. Broth is a really mindless and easy thing to do. You just put a whole bunch of things in water, let it sit for a bunch of hours, and it becomes this beautiful, flavorful thing. So yesterday I made this super healing vegetable broth that I'm gonna sip every day here and there, and it really just warms the system and makes you feel alive, awake here, and calms the nerves as well. When I was visiting my sister in December, I got really sick with the flu all of a sudden, and she made me a broth similar to this, and it pretty much cured me overnight. I'm just gonna share with you the base foundation for this super healing, immunity boosting broth, and then a few extra things you can add if you have them as well. No two broths will ever be the same. To start, you wanna get a big pot, fill it with water, and get it to a boil. And here's what you definitely want to add to this. Throw in a couple thumbs of ginger sliced up. The more surface area there is, the more it'll be able to soak into the broth faster. Throw in some chopped up garlic. I put maybe 10 or 11 cloves in here. Put as much as you can take because that is going to be massively helpful. Put in a bunch of thyme. Now I have a big bunch that I got from the grocery store and I threw that in, and I also have access to a fresh thyme plant and I threw a bunch of that in as well. You can see how much greener it is. Thyme, ginger, and garlic are the key ingredients to making this as healing as it is. With thyme, you really can't put too much, and this will be a very strong, thyme-heavy broth. Make sure that you rinse it off and throw it in there whole, and it's gonna do good things for you. You wanna add the juice of a half to a full lemon, whatever you are willing to throw in there. I added some dried shiitake mushrooms. You can add fresh ones if you have them. A lot of mushrooms are a great source of vitamin D, which Lord knows we need when we're staying inside all day. It also gives a nice meatiness to the broth and is a great flavor for any vegetable broths. I always add mushrooms. Spoonful of turmeric if you have it, and a few pods of black pepper if you have that as well. If you don't have that, just crack some black pepper into there. At this point, you have a broth that is really gonna nourish you and make you feel super good. But if you have a few extra things, you can also throw them in there. Broths can be beautiful and complex and really contain whatever you have. I had some kale stems that I threw in, as well as some tough stems of broccoli, which I never throw away. They'll flavor it, they'll add nutritious benefits, good stuff. I also had half an onion in the fridge, so I threw that in there. That's just for flavor. It's gonna make it taste really nice. I also wanna throw in some cloves and a couple bay leaves. I learned this trick the other day where you can stick the bay leaf to the onion with the cloves, like stab them in there like that. And it's kind of cute and it keeps everything together. Then I like to add a couple pieces of cinnamon bark or cinnamon sticks if you have them. That's gonna make this a very tasty broth. Make it feel very warm and homey. And you just wanna let it simmer for a nice long time, as long as you can really have the patience to leave it. I left mine for the entire afternoon because I'm home all day. You wanna make sure to slow simmer this for at least an hour and a half, at the very, very least, but ideally longer. If you forget about it and the water gets too low, you can add water again. Just remember that it's very concentrated when there's little of it. So you can always dilute it to make it a little less strong. Once it's done and I'm pleased with it, I just strain it into another vessel. Once it's strained, if you got a funnel, get your funnel and get ready to put it in my jars. I started pouring it, but started to make a little bit of a mess, so I moved on to the spoon method. Don't be like me, just spoon it in from the beginning. It's a lot cleaner. Depending on how much water you had in the pot at the end, this might be a really, really strong broth or not so strong of a broth. Also, keep in mind that I didn't add any salt to this broth. I wanted to be able to salt it as I please later, depending on things I want to use it in. I stored mine in a few mason jars. Make sure you let them cool down completely, and then you can store them in the fridge for use whenever. You can use this broth in soups, you can use it when you're cooking rice or any type of grain, or you can sip it like a healthy, immune-boosting elixir. You can take it out of the fridge anytime, warm it up in a pot. Make sure you shake up your broth after you take it back out because it will settle, and you want to make sure to get all of that goodness in there. Add a little bit more water if you want, if it's super concentrated and if you want to let it go for a bit longer. And then there's a few things you can add to it to really boost its immunity power. And you can do this right into your mug. I like to add a little bit of red pepper or cayenne, which is super, super cleansing to the system, nice and spicy and really gonna make you feel awake. Then I add a splash of apple cider vinegar, which is great for digestion because it's got lots of probiotics and it's also got fantastic immunity boosting power. Apple cider vinegar is such a powerful ingredient. Because I didn't add any salt to this broth, I like to put a little bit of salt in my cup. And lastly, a little spoonful of raw honey, which is incredibly nutritious and also adds a bit to the flavor. It's very good to have a spoonful of honey every day. Stir it around and then you're finished. It's really going to wake up your system and employ your body's natural defenses to keep itself strong. It feels so good to drink this. So that's it from me right now. I hope you enjoyed this and I hope that you make some of this or some version of this for yourself. The main ingredients for this are thyme, ginger, and garlic. And besides that, you can kind of go crazy with it and put whatever flavors and things that you want, but I suggested some nice other immune boosting healthy ingredients. Thank you as always so much for watching. Let me know if there's any recipes that you're very interested in or any questions that you have about ingredients that you have in your kitchen right now that you don't know what to do with. I am here to help you out. Sahtein, be well. Thank you as always, and I will see you guys in the next one.